I want to turn to Iran next. It has announced the first execution of a protester who took part in the anti-government demonstrations that have rocked the country since September. Mohsen Shekari was convicted of injuring a volunteer militia member and blocking a street in the capital, Tehran. Now, since the beginning of the unrest, at least 11 protesters have been sentenced to death. As many as 20 more face charges that could see them hanged. Protests were sparked by the death in custody of Mahsa Amini, a 22-year-old who had been arrested by the so-called morality police for allegedly breaking strict hijab rules. With me in studio is Kazra Naji from BBC Persian. Great to have you with us. Thank you so much, Kazra, for joining us. I mentioned his name there, the gentleman who was executed. What more do we know about him?
I don't know how old he is, but we have his pictures and photos, and he seems to be about 25, 30 years old. He was arrested about 10 weeks ago in a street in western Tehran, where there were protests. His case execution is the first of wave we expect of executions of protesters in the unrest that has been sweeping the country, he has been accused, or he's found guilty of waging war against God. And that apparently entails disturbing peace, using a weapon, in doing so denying freedom and security of others, and assaulting a militiaman with a weapon. Apparently he injured a militiaman in the street.
So you mentioned there a potential wave of executions. I saw Iran Human Rights also tweeting that they expect the executions of prisoners would start to take place daily unless Iranian authorities faced rapid practical consequences internationally. What could the international community do?
Well, a good question. About 2 weeks ago, I was in Geneva at the special session of the UN Human Rights Commission Council dealing with human rights in Iran, the situation. They set up a fact-finding mission that will start work soon. And that fact-finding mission, the job of this mission is to gather evidence against those people who are abusing human rights in Iran. So that's one thing they can do. But obviously, international reaction is important. And I think what is happening is the Iranian government is probing by announcing one execution today to see how internally people will react and how outside Iran the international community react. Don't forget that already we have another 12 people who are on death row given death sentences, and they are awaiting the result of their appeal at the High Court. And then there are 30 others who are charged with crimes that carry death sentences. So we are expecting probably a few more executions if the authorities think that they can get away with it, and they think that this is the way to stop this wave of unrest that has been sweeping the country for the last 3 months.
Kazra, thank you so much.